name, but I just remember your name, you know. Thank you. Look here. This is about the size of our, you know, brain, our brain, spinal cord. The nerves that come out of the brain are called cranial nerves, and there are 12 pairs. And the nerves that come out of the spinal cord are called what nerves? Spinal nerves. Spinal nerves have different names also. When the spinal nerves come out of the cervical region of the spinal cord, called cervical nerves, you get that? From the thorax, thoracic nerves. Yeah? From the lumbar region, lumbar nerves. From the sacrum, sacral nerves. From the coccygeal, coccygeal nerve. So there are 31 pairs of spinal nerves. But you don't have to know, like for cranial nerves, just learn that there are 31 pairs. Okay? And 8 in the cervical, 12 in the thoracic, 5 in the lumbar, 5 in the sacral, and 1 in the coccyx, in the coccygeal. Total 31 pairs of spinal nerves. Do you get that? Okay? So suppose if this nerve, can you see this nerve here in between ribs? I can test your anatomy knowledge. What nerve can you? Thoracic nerve, or in between ribs? Intercostal, fantastic. Yeah, it is coming, huh? Intercostal, like that. Okay? And I will tell you, next day I will go over all the models. All the models. Like here is a cone-shaped part of the spinal cord called conus medullaris. And you can see there's tufts of nerves, a tuft of nerves looks like ponytail, isn't it? And the name is cauda equina. It's a Latin term, cauda meaning tail, C-A-U-D-A, cauda. Equina comes from equus. What is equina? Horse. Horsetail or ponytail. You get that? So you learn those two names for your bonus question. Okay? And the nerves, cranial nerves, are denoted with Roman numerals. Okay? But you have to know the olfactory and optic. But other nerves, like from oculomotor, trochlear, trigeminal, abducens, facial, auditory, or auditory or vestibulocochlear, like that, you know, you have the reference point, the Roman numeral. If the 8th cranial nerve is thin, and if I ask you identify the nerve as indicated, it will be vestibulocochlear or auditory. If it is 10th, it will be vagus. If it is 12th, it will be hypoglossal. If it is 11th, it will be spinal accessory. Do you get that? Do you get that, what I'm coming to? Or I don't have to have any display. I may simply ask in a question on a table, name the 5th cranial nerve. So what you have to do, you have to write the 5th cranial nerve, that is trigeminal. Okay? Sometimes I will hear from you, Dr. M, where is number 32? Then I have to say, the 32 is in your card, in your question, because there will be no display. If I ask, say, what is the name of the 9th cranial nerve? It is glossopharyngeal, okay? You understand? I spend some time on this, you know, but it's worth it because at least 2 or 3 nerves will be asked like that. If 2 nerves in the main exam, it will be 4 points. And if it is 1 in the bonus, it will be 1 point. A point is a point, isn't it? Okay. We are not yet done. Next, we're done with the chapter 14. Chapter 15, just two diagrams. You need just two. On page 527, 15.2, and 528, 15.3. And there is a reason for that, because if you look at this model, this side is removed, one side you can find these ganglia. What is a ganglion? Ganglion is a singular, ganglia. Let me write it down. Ganglion, singular, and ganglia, plural. A ganglion is a collection place of neuronal cell bodies or cell bodies of neuron in the peripheral nervous system. And you can see all these ganglia, and if you look at the diagram 15.2 on page 527, on each side of the spinal cord, they look like a chain. That's why they call vertebral chain ganglia or sympathetic trunk ganglia. You get that? So you may not have that vertebral chain or sympathetic trunk ganglia in the word bank, but since I have told you, you may write it down. That may be good, useful for your answering bonus questions. All right? Yes.
Can you repeat that? What you said position now? Can
What?
you repeat the term?
Yeah, sympathetic trunk ganglia. If you look at on page 527, you can see those two chains. Can you see that those two chains? They are called also sympathetic trunk ganglia or vertebral chain ganglia. Same thing is given. On the left-hand column, the last one, sympathetic trunk ganglia. Can you see that? So these contain the cell bodies of motor neurons, okay? All right. Those two diagrams, and then we go to chapter 17. Chapter 17, we will look at special sensory organs like the eye and ear. Pages 580 through 582. Figures 17.5, 17.6, 17.7, 584, figure 17.9, (586), figure 17.11. So eye is covered. Then, so what is so special about eye? Microscopically, what strikes you most?
It's the most exterior part of the brain, or the
It
most
is not a
exposed part of the brain.
It is not part of the brain. It is attached to the nerve. So that nerve is a peripheral nervous system that belongs to the peripheral nervous system. It is not. It is a special sensory organ. It's an organ for vision. Organ for vision. Okay? It's a special sensory organ. But what strikes you most, yes?
It can interpret thousands of colors.
Yeah. For that, what cells are responsible, and what are those cells? How can you classify them, those cells? Are they receptors? Sure they are. What kind of receptors are they? You have heard of mechanoreceptor, chemoreceptor, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, light receptor.
Light receptor has a technical term. What is that? Come on, you know. Photoreceptor, yes. This is photo. And the photoreceptors in the form of two types of cells. What are those cells? The rods and the cones. The rods are responsible for gray vision, and the cones are responsible for color vision. Okay? Very good. We don't have time, that's why, and it's not in the syllabus also, we are not going to talk about in the lecture the physiology of vision. And another special sense organ is ear. How many senses from ear? Hearing is a sense, isn't it? And what else? What's space? What's that? Balance? Correct? Balance.
Vertigo.
Hearing and balance. If there is something wrong with the balancing system, what is developed? What is that condition? Vertigo. Vertigo. Okay, for your page 595 through 597, figures 17.18, 17.19, and 17.20. Page 599, figure 17.21. Page 601, 17.22. And that's it. We're not going to look at inside the cochlea, like composition of cochlea, the special receptors, so the cells that are responsible for hearing, they're called hair cells. Okay? We are not going to do that. And that's it, folks.